Parliamentary proceedings, Afenyo-Markin takes over as majority leader. Now, there's a very interesting way the story is angled on the Anchor newspaper, and so let me just read it for you. It says here, Afenyo-Markin and Atuforsen make history as youngest leaders in Ghana's parliament. Now, the 8th parliament has recorded yet another history after emerging as the hung house on the eve of January 7th, 2021, which saw an opposition stalwart, Alban Sumana Kimford Bagwin, dramatically elected as Speaker from the National Democratic Congress minority group. This time, the current parliament does not only have two friends, Alexander Kwamena Afenyo-Markin and Dr. Kesa Atuforsen, as majority and minority leaders respectively, and from the same central region, but also the two are incidentally the same age, 46, and arguably the youngest so far. So, let me, I don't know if you want to take this one first.
Yeah.
Afenyo-Markin.
Did you already know? He's actually a custodian. He was my mate until he left, to outside, yeah.
And it's an absolute.
He's a fellow custodian.
Custodian as in Casford Hall,
University of Cape Coast.
University of Cape Coast.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
so
coincidentally, he happened to
and he's also an Absunian.
Yeah, he's an
okay.
Coincidentally, he happened to be the nephew for my late boss, Most Reverend Dr. Markin.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's his uncle. So he used to come to the AU village, and Atuforsen was also in the AU village, was living there. So actually, for me, I've known the two of them. But hey, Afenyo-Markin is a sharp guy right from the UCC, and I like Parliament, and I salute Parliament for giving the young ones opportunity to also. They are young as
and they're not even that young anyway. You know, it's interesting.
I mean, at 31,
we refer to them as young,
was governing the country.
Yes,
so, yes, and then I mean, you've seen the French president also at 31 doing something wonderful. So yes, Thomas Sankara and the rest were in government at very young ages. You know, so I think, but to look at the rise and the contribution, and you would see one thing about these two young men. I mean, their approach to issues, they speak their mind. I mean, and then they also cross over to other sides to negotiate. I'm thinking it will be a beef up. I think we should also not lose sight of the fact that it's important to salute the outgone former leader he was a colossal of knowledge. He actually also contributed his bit. Where I digress with other people when they were coming to talk about, because he's an institution of knowledge, he should have been there. I worry. I worry that mindset of Ghanaians. I worry. I panic. I get perplexed. I get bemused, confused. I don't know why people choose to sit on that bench. They're still there. Look,
it's like he's an institution of knowledge, so he shouldn't ever leave Parliament.
I wonder.
No,
I wonder.
It doesn't work.
I wonder. Look, for me, I think anybody can try me. I'll be fed up after 8 years. I can't hold any office more than 8 years. And even one term is enough for me. I believe in one thing. Look, we are how many Ghanaians? About 30-something million Ghanaians. Yeah. And you think if only 1 million even were interested in political office, one person should hold the office for over 20 years? Yeah. I don't agree. Yeah. Look, anybody who can make the mark can go with the saying that you actually leave a stage when the clap is louder. So if politicians will accept, after 2 terms in Parliament, you should be able to make your mark. And professionals should be the ones there. If you were a carpenter and you actually made all the beds and you enter Parliament and you have the chance to belong to a committee, let me see the best school beds in Ghana and your name associated to it. After 4 years, step down. Look, I like the fact that people want to help. But look, after 8 years, you can also stay on the bench. I'm sure Parliament has a system where old leaders can still make input from outside. And so for me, I'm also excited that the outgone former majority leader actually stepped down and allowed the young one to come in. If you watch something, there was this good, smooth working relationship between himself and Afenyo. So some of the media discussants were also mentioning that, look, it is his own young, trainee that has taken over. For me, that's the beauty of democracy. I can say that, look, I'm hoping and believing that how does that young energy benefit us? They should showcase to the world that look, at their young ages, they have the energy. These are my age mates, and I think for me, I see the energy in them. I think they should utilize the energy and ensure that look, they make a mark.
All right. Mensa.
But I wanted to say, once a Casford, he should hold his balls. I mean, we say in Casford, hold your balls. I mean, your eyeballs. You have to hold your eyeballs, actually.
Did you hear the mischief you just did?
Oh, no. You have to hold your balls. No, wherever he is, wherever we meet, that's what we say to ourselves. You have to hold your balls, please, as in your eyeballs, so that you don't see what is wrong.
OJ will be waiting for you downstairs.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yes.
Well, I have a lot of respect for Afenyo. I mean, his rise is very interesting. You know how, he quickly moved to deputy majority leader within a short period, and within a very short time, he's ascended to majority leader. And I mean, you can't take his intellect away from him. You can't take his capacity. He's a very sharp guy. You can't take that away from him. But then his appointment as majority leader, raises a very fundamental question. I mean, and I think that it makes nonsense of any assertion that Dr. Bawumia is not influential in this government. We've seen in the last couple of weeks some shakeups, right from the local government level, from MMDCs being moved out, from ministers being moved out and others moved in, and now, parliamentary shakeup. And all this is to achieve one thing, to consolidate power for Dr. Bawumia. And I won't be surprised if President Kufuor eventually, within the next few months or weeks, hand over power to Dr. Bawumia.
Really?
I won't be surprised. If you look at, you see, it's gone very systematic. It started from MMDCs, where there were shake-up there, people who were seen as not loyalists to Dr. Bawumia, people who did not support.
But is that
Dr.
not your
Bawumia
perception?
But
as opposed to reality
everything
on
I'm
the ground.
Here is my perception. So please allow me to say my perception. And then, and people who were seen to not even support Dr. Bawumia's candidates in their just ended primaries were kicked out, and people who were seen to be loyalists of Dr. Bawumia were moved in to replace those MMDCs. Then it moved to the ministers, where certain, ministers with ties to either Alan or who were seen not to be so much in support of, Dr. Bawumia, or were seen openly against Kanuforiata during, the Ken Must Go campaign, were kicked out, and then very hardcore loyalists of Dr. Bawumia were brought in, including the current finance minister, Amin Anta, who everybody knows is Dr. Bawumia's boy. Then now, parliamentary shake-up, Osei Chairman Bonsu, who they know is very, very influential, longest serving, majority leader, has been there, and is way above Dr. Bawumia, in terms of the hierarchy of the party. He's a powerhouse, you understand? And so, Dr. Bawumia would not be able to exert that level of control over Osei Chairman Bonsu as he would. Please allow me.
But then that's not a fair comment, though.
Then I'm coming. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's my view.
He's the flag bearer.
That's my view.
He's the one in charge of the party.
Yeah, but you said there are certain people.
There are certain
people who have not respected, who have not respected flag bearers and even running mates. Marcus Ibeyebua was kicked out. Why? Because there were allegations that he did not even respect the president. And so these things are things that are there. There are some people, if you look at their clout and their personality, I can list 10 people in NPP whose clout are even way better than Dr. Bawumia. That's for Dr. Bawumia there. It's a straw. It's a lightweight, And so people like Osei Chairman Bonsu, I mean, if not for a certain sort of, certain tribal narrative that the NPP want to eschew, that, they are against Northerners, that they forced to bring Dr. Bawumia. People like Osei Chairman Bonsu, Joe Sewusu are people who should be on the forefront for the run of flag bearer for the party. And so
On one hand, you say that Bawumia is influential, highly influential, and on the other hand, you say he's a lightweight. So which is which?
Why? You can't be lightweight and influential.
No.
Hey, my brother.
No, you can't.
My brother.
No. All influential people are heavyweights.
Dr. Bawumia's no, that's not true.
You can't be lightweight and influential.
Dr.
I don't understand it.
Current influence is because of his ties to President Akufo-Addo, who is the ultimate power holder. It doesn't mean his influence extends. I know so many MPs who would defy Dr. Bawumia any day. He's a lightweight.
And yet they are all falling in line
Don't you know Dr.
behind
Bawumia
him.
is a lightweight?
No.
You don't know Dr.
He's
Bawumia.
not.
You don't know that.
I don't know that. That's your opinion. Like you said,
You
it's
don't
your
know-
perception.
you don't know Dr. Bawumia
It's
is a
your
lightweight.
perception. You want to force your perception on me?
You know yourself, you know. You're sitting here, you know.
Why is he trying to force his perception
You
on me?
know.
I'm already out.
If they switch the camera off now and I say Dr. Bawumia is a lightweight, you support me.
No, I will never support you.
You're looking to me, babe.
Dr. Bawumia is a lightweight. Everybody knows it. Please, let's not play the ostrich.
He won an election.
Of course. My brother. Don't let me say something. Why? People...
Lightweights don't win
How
elections.
many lightweights?
Lightweights don't win elections.
We have a lightweight as a president.
Wow. Okay, we move on.
And
at
he
that
won an
point.
election. Please, let's not even go there. But the point I'm trying to make is that all these things are just things that are being done to consolidate power for Dr. Bawumia. You know, so that Dr. Bawumia can be in full grasp of the party, right from the local level to Parliament, which in the coming days is going to be crucial as they prepare for the next elections. And so I won't be surprised if ultimately President Akufo-Addo say, look, now the structure has been put in place for you. Now we can put you in the driving seat to see what you can do to convince Ghanaians, you know, to vote for you in the upcoming elections. Unfortunately for Dr. Bawumia, there is nothing that he can do. You know, no amount of parliamentary shake-up, no amount of sacking of MMDCs. And in fact, you know, the senior leadership of Parliament were not in support of this. You know that. A lot of the senior members in Parliament were totally against this move to bring Afenyo-Markin in. It's the same way
Who and who are you referring to?
Oh, you didn't see the press conference before Afenyo-Markin was confirmed as majority leader?
You mean the one with Joe Wise?
Of course, are they not senior members?
Yeah,
of
but
the
that's
party in
but that's
Parliament?
no. But he said they were not aware that there was any decision like that about to be made.
So the point I'm making is that
Don't try and mislead our viewers.
at the ministerial level, the reshuffle that was done created some also bad blood. Some people were also not happy that others were moved in. And we've heard the health minister, we've heard certain things that have gone on. Then even at the local government level, the MMDCs that were kicked out, there were a whole lot of issues that has happened with that. The bottom line is that when you are going into opposition, you keep making mistakes upon mistakes upon mistakes upon mistakes upon mistakes. I'm not saying that the promotion of Afenyo-Markin to majority leader is a mistake. What I'm saying is that, you know, as reactionary or as a reaction to the current circumstances within the party, based on the recklessness of President Akufo-Addo and how he governed the country and how he even managed the party, and the cracks he ended up creating, the disunity, the apathy he's created within the rank and file of the party. What is happening now is further even deepening the cracks. It's making them even much weaker as a force going into the next elections. And that's why I say that nothing is going to save Dr. Bawumia. No amount of, you know, reshuffling, remodeling.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
Will save Dr. Bawumia in
All right.
the next election.